black coach. Well, his collusion case is kind of going out the door because now he's gotten the second job in a row.
Right.
So that was the other part about the collusion was that he couldn't get a job because of his skin color. And I don't think anyone really cares. It's like if you can coach, you'll get hired. It's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you can coach. I mean, Lovie Smith.
You can miss me with that. I don't know what world you live in, my friend, but that is just not the case. Okay, maybe someday we'll get to that utopian world you just described, but that's not the world we live in.
Well, how else do you explain Lovie Smith getting hired again and again? Because Lovie Smith has never been a good head coach. He's a good coordinator.
Maybe he interviews well. Maybe he gets in there and he interviews. What are you saying? Are you saying that Lovie Smith is only hired because of the color of his skin?
He's hired because he's a good defensive coach who has zero offensive coaching ability. He very rarely hires a good OC.
Wait, are you suggesting though that he's only been hired because of the color?
No,
because
I'm
he's
saying
black.
His color doesn't make a difference. You get hired because you can coach. So the fact that Flores is black means nothing. It's like whether he can coach and then whether he get. Now here's the part where he gets himself in trouble. When he goes out and you speak out against ownership very publicly in the press, other owners don't like that. I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, whatever your color is. When you go out and you speak out against ownership, other owners.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Now, anybody knows.
Go ahead.
I see where Ken's going with this. He's saying basically, due to the fact that he continued to get jobs, you got to think anybody. We know this. If you go against the NFL, man, you're fighting a real huge goddamn uphill battle. You know what I'm saying? They got lawyers that are ready for this shit. Not even Tom Brady could win against them motherfuckers.
Yeah. His color is irrelevant.
Flores is the culture changer, okay? He's going to change the culture. As we all know, it doesn't happen overnight. Flores is going to come in, and he's going to change the culture of the Minnesota Vikings defense, and you watch.
The only color the NFL cares about is green.
Yep. There you go.
Only color.
Amen.
Ding,
ding, ding. Good take. Good take so far.
Yeah. Let's not forget.
Go ahead, Chad. Finish your thought.
Well, like you said, the only color that the NFL cares about is green, and that is the honest truth. All they care about is money. I mean, why are they hyping the Lions up so much? Well, guess what? We have the draft next year. They want this hype. Guess what? We wiped out Green Bay at the last game. That they put us on the prime time. We went 8-2.
Yeah.
They're all about the money. They're all about the advertisement. Oh, America's new team, the Detroit Lions. I don't see it that way.
Does anybody really think that the Lions are coincidence?
They're going to capitalize on any chance they have to get the views.
All right, Chad. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a great take.
Oh no, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just saying, does anybody really believe that's a coincidence that the Lions are starting off the damn season versus the fucking Super Bowl champs? That's just not by coincidence, man. If you look at these scheduled, just the Thanksgiving games, how they got Minnesota playing Detroit towards the ends of the season, and they're making us wait. They're setting this shit up for a specific way for this shit, so they know people are going to tune in, man. A lot of these games are high flying.
So that's a good call.
So Jamez, you got teed up right here, because I was trying to change the subject when it got weird there for a second right here. But losing Dalvin Cook, and since I have you on here, it's looking like you guys are going to lose Dalvin Cook. You guys are going to release him post June 1st, which is going to save you $9 million against the cap. But are you guys underselling this? Are you guys underselling the fact that you're going to lose your at least number 2 on your offensive playmaker that on your team?
I think some people are underselling it, and I think some people are overselling it. Now, I'm going to be the first to let it be known that we're not somehow getting better losing Dalvin Cook. A lot of Vikings fans can get that out of their minds. But to just think that he erasing him from the offense just means we're just going from the 6th rank down to 16th. I don't believe that, man. I believe he's a top 5 running back, and what he poses. Good thing about that having Dalvin Cook on the offense is that he has to be accounted for, man. When the defense, when they make their game plan for that Sunday, when they make their game plan for that Sunday, he has to be accounted for in that. But the way I've seen the league change, boy, and the way I've seen with Kansas City and Philly and some of these other teams, man, I just think if we go running back by committee, I think it'll work better for us in the long run, especially with what we have to throw to. Now, if we didn't have, a Hockenson, Jefferson, and, hopefully Addison pans out, from picks off where he was from college, and KJ Osborne. If now we weren't that strapped, I would feel way more different about it. I'd be saying, you motherfuckers better do everything in your power to keep Dalvin Cook, and even if he doesn't take the pay cut. But I believe, and I believe also, and I'm going to just, because I pay attention to the team. Dude, we got some nice running backs behind them over here, man. They're none of them are on Dalvin Cook's level, but if you pair them together and if they go 1, 2, 3 action, we might still have some here.
No.
I know
Can
three teams in the North that need a running back, okay? The Bears, the Packers, and now the Vikings. 3 teams in the North need a running back. Lions don't have to worry about that.
We need a running back. We need a running back.
Chad.
Packers. Are you fucking
Okay,
serious?
Chad.
I love
Go
how
ahead,
he threw the
Russell
Packers in that.
Get him
Go
going.
ahead, Russell
Get him
Wayne.
going, boy.
I gotta challenge that because when you go and you play the Minnesota Vikings, you have to account for Dalvin Cook. You have to be like, I need to know where this guy is 100% of the time, right? That is Dalvin Cook, right? That is Justin Jefferson, man. You got to look and you got to find out where these guys. Ain't nobody going to be scheming Alexander Madison.
How do you know that? How do you know that, Russell?
Well, they can go ahead and scheme him, but what they're going to be doing is they're going to say, run the ball. Go ahead. Alexander
3.6
Madison.
yards per carry, Jamez. That's why nobody. That's how we know.
Alexander Madison is going to get his shot. That's what I'm saying, Jamez. He is going to get his shot because nobody is going to be scheming him. They are going to use those resources to cover Hockenson and Justin Jefferson, and they're going to dare that team to run. And I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that good.
Russell, I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. He's better than Montgomery, man. He's a better running back than David Montgomery, dude. You guys got to get off the line, man. David Montgomery's not that good, man. He's not. I'm trying to.
Personal foul. What's this game?
David Montgomery's not that good, man. I'm sorry to tell you guys that.
Hey,
No, say all that. Everything.
I'm trying to save you guys from having a bad take here, bro. Alexander Madison, if it weren't now, Montgomery's going to do decent because of the offensive line you got, but dude, he's not an every down back, man.
No. Wait.
You don't want him to be.
That is not what I want to hear. That is not what I want to hear. You said something when everybody was talking over you.
I think he runs like a turtle, I think.
Shut up for a second. I want to ask this question. Jamez. Okay, do I have your attention? Right?
I'm listening.
Jamez. So what I want to know is, did you say that Alexander Madison is a better running back than Dalvin Cook or than David Montgomery?
I said he's better than David Montgomery, dude. Almost every running back in this division is better than David Montgomery, man. I don't understand why you guys don't get that. Jahmyr Gibbs is better than David Montgomery.
So Jamal Williams
better than David Montgomery.
Jamal Williams was better than David Montgomery. Yes, he was.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
That's what I wanted. I got what I wanted. That's cool.
Russell, I got a question to ask. Is Chad perusing the 8 Mile for that cheap drug? Because he must be 8 Mile looking for that crack. John Dorn's about to love me here because I can't believe I'm about to say this. But Chad, you're smoking something. I don't care what kind of rock you're scoring. Put it away because even the Packers have a good run game. The entire NFC North has a pretty good run game from top to bottom.
And I was glad he threw the Packers in there.
Except for the Vikings.
If the Vikings lose Dalvin Cook, does that hurt their run game? Well, if you take Russell's argument that on face value, it does. Until they do what Russell says. Teams dare them, and then they punch people in the face, and they show them without Dalvin Cook, they can.
Yeah.
And if they
definitely have to be proven,
then all 4 teams in this division, you can say, have good run teams. Because if you look at what this division did last year, it was all running. It was the Bears, it was running. The Packers, it was running. With the Lions,
I think the Minnesota Vikings dropped the ball when they drafted a wide receiver with their first pick. They had so many needs on defense. They absolutely should have addressed their defense with that pick. Instead, they're stuck with Madison, Addison, and an offense that's going to be Addison. So
you crazy as hell. You know damn well. You ain't gonna think that when Addison's offensive rookie of the year on your ass.
No. Okay.
Hey, I like it that you got.
Why are you getting a new quarterback?
I want to hear. I mean, we got ball.
Need 8 yards and throw a 3.
Let's see what Jimmy.
All I'm saying, man, if
Look, you
Addison's
guys
stepping
don't know
into a
anything
good
about
spot,
football.
man.
We're going to talk to a man now who has the word ball in his name. Jeremy Ballwright.
That being said, Alexander Madison is a decent running back, but to say he's better than Montgomery ran behind a shit O-line and still averaged 800 yards per year.
Yeah.
I think you're smoking some type of rock, and it isn't gravel.
Wow.
It isn't quartz.
800 yards per year. 800 yards per year isn't that good, man.
800 yards behind no O-line is good.
Maybe
You're also
you should
talking about the
with
guy
that.
that had the most missed tackles in a season.
Yeah. Jamez only smokes.
Dalvin Cook didn't have a running. It didn't have an O line for a few years.
You know, Fox Sports is always new.
You
always
are
fucking wrong.
watching the NFC North Open Mic Night. Be sure to put your comments in and let us panel of knuckleheads kick your question around. If you've got something to say, be sure to say it and come. You don't have to worry about your takes, sucking. We already know your take sucks. So just go ahead and put your take in there, and we'll kick it around. Be sure to follow our page and head over to our YouTube channel, and please subscribe to our YouTube. That's the fuel that makes this thing go. Our good friend Greg Rice says, blasphemy. Tell Jamez I'm suing him. He's saying that because you're saying
Montgomery's not that good, man.
Madison's a better back than David Montgomery. And
He
it's
is.
going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Hey, me and Tom Novins got a bet going right now. He pretty much pressured me into it, but he said we got so basically out of Madison. If this is all if Dalvin Cook is not the starter, it's no. If he's the starter, we're throwing it out. But if Madison's the starter for the Vikings, this year, me and Novins got I think it was $50 or $100, one of the two. That whoever wins 2 out of the 3 before yards, touchdowns, and receiving yards wins that bet. And I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Hey, Mike.
It's
got a
Madison. It's Madison and who? Montgomery?
Madison versus Montgomery, and whoever wins the best 2 out of 3 of those stats.
And that's with Melvin, Detroit Jesus.
No, that's with Tom Novins.
Oh, that's what Tom Novins. All right, well, we're going to track that wager here on the main event. We're going to track that wager here on the main event.
Well,
all right, Ken, did you have something to add there?
Hey, so yeah. Hey,
I already know you do, Ken, so do it.
Here's the question. The rest of the NFC North seems to be building their offense by running to open up the pass game. So I know we've all been giving Detroit a hard time about not drafting defense, about drafting another receiver. Could it be that maybe Detroit is going, well, okay, you all can run to pass. We're going to pass to run. That maybe they're thinking with
you're saying Detroit, but you're meaning Minnesota, right?
I think you mean Minnesota.
Minnesota's thinking might be we're gonna blow it up in the air, and then because we're blowing it up in the air, that's gonna create running for our offense.
Sure, why not? When you've got the best receiver in the league, not just in the division, but Justin Jefferson, in my opinion, is the best receiver in the NFL. So that's not such a bad plan. The pass opens up the run. And when you've got a career backup starting at running back, you're going to need some sort of plan.
But one thing about it, in this division alone, we got some pretty good secondaries in this division. So,
but if the running backs in the secondary, we're good. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Jamez, I got a question for you. How many primetime games do Minnesota have this year?
Last time I checked, I think it was 5.
They got 3.
Oh, there's 5 losses.
No, that's about 3 or 4 wins.
Well, Jamez is one tough cookie, guys. I don't know if you know this. We could all gang up on Jamez and run his Vikings into the ground.
If you count Thanksgiving.
He will hang tough. Trust me. Russell Wayne, I know you love trashing the Vikings. Throw something at him.
Well, actually, I have to move on because this is a unbiased type of show, and
one thing about
Tom Novins actually brought something else up that I think that we should probably we should talk about this elephant in the room here, which is the Lions' expectations. Is that? I mean. Let's
accurate. What you're looking at right there is the same old Lions. That's what you're looking at right there. The same old Lions.
Hey, maybe think that he's having second guess. Maybe he's having second thoughts on the season.
He had a fluke lucky season last year. That's all I gotta say. So good luck even get back to 8 wins.
You know what I love about you, Tom? What I love about you, John, is like I don't even have to ask you what your take is. It's already over by the time I ask you. Like you've already said it. Like it's like fuck, Lambo Lions. All right, okay, cool. You don't think that we're gonna do very well? Anybody else want?
I'm not saying you guys are gonna do anything well. You're gonna win games, but you guys ain't gonna accomplish more.
No, I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, John. Both the Vikings and the Lions are going to win 11 games this year. It's going to be whoever has the better division record. That last game, Detroit versus Minnesota, that's going to decide the division. I'm telling you that.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. I want to ask
you. Keep sleeping on the Packers because I guarantee you they're going to sneak
up.
I'm snoring on the Packers right now.
John Dorn, the Lions play the Packers twice next year. How many times are the Lions going to beat the Packers next year?
I know. I think I got a split.
You're going to get a split. Okay, John's on record for a split. That's cool. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Hey, John.
I got a splitting with the Bears and the Lions, and we're going to sweep the Vikings.
Really?
You're gonna sweep the Vikings. I love it. I love it.
Hey, the Rocks keep getting bigger with every year.
Where did Mike go?
Justin Fields finally about to get his win against the Packers week 1. Boy, they about to tear y'all ass up.
I love the take Jamez though. Jamez saying that the Lions and the Vikings play in week 18 in Ford Field for the division. I mean, that's the second. I'm not going to even push back. I'm not going to tease you about it, nothing, because you got the Lions playing for the division in week 18. I'm going to take it. And I'll tell you what, my vision, though, is the Lions sit Jared Goff in week 18 because they wrapped up the division 3 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
You want to see Hendon Hooker?
Russell Wayne said today the Lions are going 6-0 in the division. They're sweeping every division opponent this year.
And he's
not apologizing for it. And he challenges you to give him a football reason of why that won't happen. And they can't be because they've never won nothing because of the worst franchise, because they haven't won a playoff game since 91. None of that can be the reason. Look at the roster right now and tell me who is going to beat the Lions this year. He predicts they go 6-0. Jamez will let you go first.
And I'm gonna tell you, they might actually have a chance of going 5-1 again. But that game in Minneapolis, that's going to be the L for sure.
Okay, that's fair. In this division, you can throw records. You can throw who's on the roster out the window if you want when it's a divisional game, right? Anything could happen. So I get that. But Russell Wayne's point is when you look at the roster, there's no reason the Lions should lose against these 3 teams. Ken Doby,
what are you talking about? Our defense holds your fucking offense pretty damn good. It's our offense that's got to get going.
You lost both games.
You lost both games, John.
Barely. You only put 15 points the first game, 20 the second.
John, you lost both games. You got
our offense was shitty. Our offense is going to be
John, John, imagine when he's
will be better than
guys, let John finish his terrible take.
Our terrible take? No, we're going to be better on offense already this year than last year. Trust me.
Okay. Without that Hall of Fame quarterback, you're going to be better.
Our defense is going to be better than last year, and we held you to 15 and 20 points. Your offense don't do shit against our fucking defense. Our offense got to get their shit together and make points on when they need to.
You are delusional. Ken Doby, tell me.
Your defense was right out of the fucking league last year. You're about 20th, maybe 20th.
You just got rid of a Hall of Fame quarterback, John. How do you think you're going to be better?
That played like
because you got a defensive end from Iowa?
That played like fucking total garbage last year. How many times do you have thrown 3 fucking interceptions in one game, especially against the Lions?
I don't know how. That's how many Jordan Love's going to throw.
Oh boy!
There you go.
Why do you think he's not on a team right now? Why do you think he's on a team right now? It's time to move on.
That sounded like a big breath, but I really think it was his
quarterback that's going to be taking.
And this right there. This is why anybody is allowed on this show.
Hold up.
I'm trying to get
reel it in. Let's reel it in here.
Give it to me.
I didn't even get to finish my take because I got yelled at. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's what we do here, Jeremy. Shut up. Go ahead, Ken.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Oh, is it my turn to speak? Okay. So here's what I love about the way the NFL is set up this season. If you look at the last 3-4 weeks of the season, a lot of divisional games, a lot of TBDs, right? So Jeremy just mouth, so everyone thinks it's you talking while I'm talking. We'll do the ventriloquist thing. So, anywho,
I'll just mute him. So go ahead, Jeremy. Do you feel like I want you to finish your take because I don't want you to feel like you didn't.
Oh, you're fine. It's already been skipped so long. I forgot what the hell I was talking about.
I didn't even see Ken's lips moving. This is amazing.
This is great. I'm doing a fantastic job at producing. No, I am not.
Okay.
So, all right, we're reeling it in. So go ahead, Mike.
All right. I was trying to get a thought out of Ken Dobie because we still have plenty of time in the show. Ken, go ahead with your take. Challenging, and then we're going to let Jeremy Ballreich have a turn.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So here's what I'm saying. The way the NFL has done the scheduling, we always get to divisionals at the end, but now they're all TBD, right? Which means we're getting a lot of prime time games.
That's not true.
There are 2 TBDs. The Bears have 2 TBDs towards the end.
We have one.
We have 2. We have 2 TBDs. One's against the Browns. The other is a divisional. I believe that's the Packers game. Anywho, the way our division's set, I don't want to. If I'm you guys, I don't want to play a Bears that's starting to come together, become a better team towards the end of the season. They're going to play record for a team that's trying to win the playoffs. I think the Lions are good. I think the Lions are still the Lions, though. So for me, until the Lions can prove they're not the Lions of old, they're still the Lions. Will find a way to screw it up. So, I mean, football reason-wise, sure, Goff is could have a regression. Your play calling could go bad.
Thank you.
You can get some injuries, but you're still the Lions. So prove to us, the rest of the NFC North, that you're not the Lions anymore, that you're breaking that
Fair
curve
enough.
and actually win.
That's fair, and that's a good point. And you and my mother are the only ones I know that say anywho. Go ahead, Jeremy. Let's go with your take.
I forgot what the hell I was talking about. It's been too long. Like I said, move on.
No, honestly, when you look at the Lions, man, you gotta use logic with this. With the 8 out of 2 of the last 10 weeks, and you got to just picture the fact that they started 1-6, ended at 9-8, but the team got better damn near in every aspect. Well, I'm gonna say every aspect, but they've got. I would be completely shocked if the Lions don't win at least 11 games this year. They should be at least 2 games. Now, they got a harder schedule. If it weren't for the harder schedule, I'd probably be saying more than that. But at least 11 games, at least 11 wins.
Now there's a smart man. There's a good football mind right there. Unbiased. Thank you, Jamez.
Dan Campbell should have to answer some hard questions.
I have my takes out on it. That's why I just wanted to have everybody have the floor to put their takes on how the Lions are like, give me football reasons on why any of the teams should be able to beat the Lions. And I haven't really heard anything other than
Ken had a couple. Ken Dobie had a couple. If your quarterback regresses,
you could have a quarterback regression, right? Yeah, that is possible. That is a good football reason. So thank you, Ken.
Well, and Russell, look at, there have been times in the past when the Lions should not have lost, and you had a bomb team. You had Stafford the Megatron. You had Barry running over the entire league, and yet inexplicably, you still lost. Why? Because you were the Lions. That's
right.
NFL officiating.
They got to break that mentality that they've had.
We are that until we aren't.
Yeah,
he said break that mentality,
that's
break
fair,
that culture.
That is fair. From the outside perspective, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for an outside perspective on the way our franchise is viewed, because I mean we think it's all sunshine and rainbows in Detroit, right? Everything's our 5th round draft pick's going to be a Hall of Fame or whatever. You know, we're in that boat too. But reality is, how does the rest of the NFL see us, right? And that's how we're the Lions.
Did you have a take on that? Chad, did you have a take on that?
I have a lot of takes because I wasn't allowed to talk because somebody muted me, and when I did talk, it wasn't coming through. I have a lot.
Yeah, we could do that again if you like.
Yeah. See how Lions fans are? See how? Yeah, absolutely. I have a take. I have multiple. Number one, where I try to talk about the running game. Well, there's no Barry Sanders out there anymore, and there's very few running backs that can make their own lanes. Okay, the Bears and the Packers don't have the old line for running game. And then hang on, now let me finish because there was a lot I didn't realize I was even muted a while ago. I just figured it out. Probably
Go ahead.
Mike muted me.
Well, that was a terrible take you just gave us. So come on with the next one.
No, that's what you guys like, right?
Well, we are the home of bad takes, Chad. That's why you're on the show. Now come on with it.
Okay, and as far as the division record, which I didn't get to pipe in on, I do actually see the Lions going 4-2. I do see us losing to Minnesota. I do see us losing to Green Bay. And the reason I see this, even though we're so vastly improved, is because it is a division game. We're going to lose at their home. They're going to be pumped. They're going to have the fans. They're going to have the refs on their side. Like we all know it happens a little bit. The refs don't control the game either. But if one play makes a difference of you losing and you want to blame the refs, no, there's 5 plays you could have done earlier that could have caused you to win. So
that's true.
And,
all right,
and what
good
was the
take,
last
Chad.
one again? Hang on, wait, the last one that I didn't get to answer yet. What was? Hang on, don't I get 30 seconds?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Chad. Go ahead, Chad.
Nice 20 minutes. Those takes.
Hey,
We'll give you one chance right now. You ready? Go.
Yep. I had to keep those 2
8,
takes in my
7,
mind, and the 3rd
5,
take that
4,
I was supposed to
3,
answer,
2,
I forget what it was.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Oh,
And
God.
I'm sorry I was so hard on you. I'm just kidding. I'm not sorry. That's what we do here. You don't bring your thin skin to the open mic night. We talk trash. We hurt your feelings. We trash your team. That's what we do. Okay? So if you want to trash our team, put it in the comments and do it for us. Next topic.
Just don't say same old Lions, because that's my line.
Yeah, that's all you got. Just don't use John Dorn's line of same old Lions or Fields garbage. Those are his patented, copywritten takes that we've given to John Dorn.
You can say Boston Fields, though.
And John, while you're talking, I want to talk to you about this topic. There was a post in one of the groups, I believe it was NFC North, the Huddle, and it was a guy who made a disparaging comment. He was a Packer fan, and he was slamming another Packer fan only because he wasn't from Wisconsin, which blew my mind. Like, as Lions fans, if you live in Los Angeles like Greg Rice, or you live in Los Angeles like Tom Novins and you're a Lions fan, I'm intrigued by that. You could root for any other team in the world. Why would you root for the Lions? So when your fan base has this subculture that is rooted in Wisconsin, and they have animosity towards other Packer fans that are outside of the state of Wisconsin. And I find this dynamic so interesting. And I want to ask you, is this a real thing? And how do you feel about it?
It's real. I'm totally familiar with it. I'm a Lions fan. Look how you treat me, Mike.
Ed, I'm asking John Dorn. This is why you get muted. Don't complain about being muted if you can't follow the rules. John Dorn, question.
What I think about it is that I think it's idiocy if I can say something like that to any fan. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter if you live in one state and, okay, if I'm from Wisconsin, I'm a Vikings fan. It doesn't fucking matter where you live. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't have any.
Green lives in Utah.
You don't have any disdain for a fan who's a Packer fan but not from Wisconsin.
Well, see, my friend, I got quite a few friends who actually are Viking fans and they're from fucking the area here out in Wisconsin. You know what I mean? So it's like,
okay,
it is what it is.
You got some friends that are Viking fans.
Yeah, there's plenty of Packer fans that live in Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but do the Viking fans feel any disdain for those fans? Are you?
Of course.
Fans are fans, man.
That's understandable. But for somebody to root for your team and you to somehow degrade them because they're not from the same state is just ridiculous.
That's stupid.
Chad, do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, you're right, Mike. You should want your team to grow as much as it possibly can.
Hold up.
Michigan has the same thing. Michigan has the same thing going on. don't go to UP with your Lions gear on. They're all Packer fans up in the
That's
UP.
a good
And there's a
point.
lot of Packer fans also in the state of Michigan, and this is the truth. Okay,
Damn, I didn't know that.
There's bar fights up in the UP. Do not go in there. And if the Lions
The air is thinner up there. It's a lack of oxygen.
Damn.
It affects your decision making. I know, Ken, from the military, you know that, right? Like hypoxia, like disorientation, that's one of the first symptoms. And that's probably why those UP guys are Packer fans.
What about those Lions fans that are from Canada? You know what I mean?
Oh, let's not talk.
That's
Right.
why
Okay,
we're
so now I
building a
guess I get
freaking
it.
wall. Hang on. No, Joe Biden promised a wall around Canada and Michigan to keep the Canadians away from the Detroit Lions.
You know what's interesting about
I thought it was just
That
to
was
keep
the take
out.
you've been searching for, Chad.
fan bases are interesting because, like, being
Dad,
military.
was that the take we've been waiting for? That Joe Biden wants to
I don't
build
know.
a wall
Maybe.
to keep Darcy out? That's the take we've been waiting for. All right. Oh,
Keep them Canadians out of Detroit.
Oh boy! So now, I'm really glad you mentioned that right there, John Doran and Chad, because now I think I can relate a little bit more to what these Wisconsin people are saying. Because I'm not going to lie, these Canadian guys that are Detroit fans, I do kind of feel some kind of way about it. So I guess I do kind of understand it a little bit more now. As a Bear fan living in Florida. I mean, do other Bear fans ridicule you and like degrade you, Ken?
Well, I'm born and raised in Chicago, so I'm just here because the military moved me around. And the interesting thing about being where I'm at now, I got Bears fans, I've got Lions fans, I got Packer fans that live down here. You know,
Did you go to Polk High, Ken?
No, I did not go to Polk High. I went to Wheeling High,
Good to
the
play.
suburbs.
Fourth
But
time
I
in
mean,
one game.
I think the funny thing though about what you start us off with is, look at those Packer fans that are mad at Packer fans are from places like where Nick Green is, living in Utah, are just mad because those Packer fans have escaped to live in a better place. That's all that.
Right. Jealousy.
That's a good take, man. Pretty good take.
Yeah.
That is a good take. It's jealousy because they got out of Wisconsin.
That's all it is. And being military, it's funny because wherever you go in the
Only
military,
real fucking Packer players live in Wisconsin.
there's two things that I'll tell you about being in the Army. That any unit every unit I was ever in the Army had these two things. One, every unit has at least one Puerto Rican dude. I don't know why, but they do. And two, you have fans from every conceivable NFL team, but at least 3 of them are Cowgirls fans, and I don't know why.
Oh, because it's a They're the most valuable franchise in the NFL. That star on the helmet is valued at $10 billion.
I thought that was their user rating.
Yeah, that one star on their helmet is actually a rating.
Yeah,
right. I love it.
When you have a place named
And I want to
Jerry
thank our
World.
producer Russell Wayne for putting up the Al Bundy graphic as soon as Ken said I was born and raised in Chicago. That was perfect timing. my
I
friend.
actually went to 85 games, saw the Bears. Unlike some of you Lions fans, I've actually seen Barry run live. So,
Oh.
I
Yeah.
watched his whole career. From
Hey,
rookie season
So I got into it with
89.
this guy, and then right here, if you look in the comments, this is the guy I was talking about, Matthew Lawrence, who seems to have a problem with Packer fans who aren't in Wisconsin. So we're putting him on blast here for all you Packer fans. Look him up and let him know he can stick it where the cheese don't curd on that one. And I got into it with this Rashad guy as he went on to tell me how the Lions have never won anything and they never will win anything. And I told him the law of averages says that he was incorrect, and the law of decorum says that he's a troll. So that was almost the end of that conversation.
Hey, look,
But we encourage you to go in NFC North, the huddle, go into the main event group, these groups that we're members of, and all of our panels are members of these groups, and we talk smack, and we invite you to do it as well. It has been a fun hour, but we are up against it. I'd like to thank all of our guests on the panel tonight, even John Dorn, for being with us tonight, Chad, Ken Doby, Jamez, and for the producer, Russell Wayne. I'm Main Event Mike saying, God bless each and every one of you. Peace out.
Hey,
Go
can I have a
back, go.
Can I have a
Bear
comment?
down. Bear down.